Thank you very much. It is 6 o'clock. Shall we take part in the national clap for the sadly departed Captain Sir Tom? I thank everyone. Recognise will then cabinet agenda.
We can't hear you, Chair.
Hello, can you hear me now?
You're very quiet, Chair.
I'm very quiet. I will get closer to my microphone. Can you hear me?
That's better.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, sorry about that. I was obviously doing something to my microphone. Thank you for taking part in that clap, which the nation has done collectively this evening for Captain Sir Tom, recognising someone I'm sure many of us see as an inspirational character. I will now formally start the Cabinet agenda and remind everybody that we are actually operating under our remote protocol due to the COVID pandemic this evening. Can I ask everybody to turn their microphones off until they're invited to speak? Can I also ask that we put our mobile phones to silent to make sure that the audio quality is the best it can be? And I have been advised that there are 2 public speakers tonight, one who wishes to speak on every item, and that's Councillor Kondaka, and Councillor Golby wishing to speak on item 6. So I will take the agenda in the order it is. Second item, apologies for absence, everyone is here. Are there any declarations of interest other than those on the agenda? There are none. Item 4 is the minutes of the previous meeting. Is someone happy to move they are an accurate record?
I'll move that, Chair. John Beaumont.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
Seconded, Chair. Chris Watkins.
Thank you. We do. Thank you. I think Councillor Watkins did second. Can I say that some of the volume is a bit low tonight? I've noticed. So perhaps if we can all try and speak more clearly, that would be gratefully appreciated. Item 5, I've already stated we have Councillor Kondaka on all items and Councillor Golby on item 6. Each member of the public will have 3 minutes to address Cabinet. There may be points of clarification following people's contributions. So it is then item 6, and it's over to Councillor Watkins to introduce preventing homelessness in Warwickshire. Thank you, Councillor Watkins.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. If there is any awkward questions that I can't answer, we have got an officer here that will be able to answer anything passionate about. Preventing homelessness in Warwickshire is a result of 2 years' work and is a collaboration between Warwickshire County Council, Public Health and the 5 districts of the Borough Councils. The finalised strategy includes contributions from all statutory and third-party partners across the county working with the homeless communities. The launch of the Homelessness Reduction Act in 2017 in April 2018 led to a reduction of the vital part all partners and stakeholders play in preventing homelessness. Homelessness is not just an accommodation issue. The County Council and Public Health are keen to ensure that the new duty to refer obligations and support for the agenda work with the district councils and borough councils to develop a document that would commit all statutory agencies to a common goal to prevent, reduce and tackle the root cause of homelessness. The MHCLG have been impressed with the approach that Warwickshire local authorities have taken to delivering the HRA and have been included in some of the discussions, commenting that for a 2-tier local authority area, this work demonstrates positive innovation and is an aspiration they would welcome other areas adopting, citing us as delivering the best practice. The document comprehensively speaks for itself, and progress will be monitored through the Head of Housing and Warwickshire County Council colleagues' regular meetings with updates to the Health and Wellbeing Board. That in brief introduces it, Chair, and if there is any questions, we'll catch them later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do have 2 public speakers who are members of the council. Councillor Kondaka, would you like to address the cabinet?
Thank you very much, Chair. It's really, really good and useful work we do to prevent homelessness. And I think the key word on it is prevent. Quite often people think, like the conversion of the council house, there are actually homeless people in there. There are actually people who are not homeless, who are actually preventing it. So I think it's really good we have that positive word in there. Also, I think we need a lot more education of selling what we do, because it's not simply the same type of person who's homeless. When you meet the homeless, there are all sorts of different stories, different pasts. Some young people, I met one who was really very well educated, really well spoken, but his parents had kicked him out as soon as he was 18. So there's all sorts of different things. And I think it's really positive to have a strategy. It's a pity it didn't get attached to the agenda. It said Appendix A and it wasn't on even our electronic paperwork. I know why we don't want to print them, but I think it is really positive, and we really do need to actually use that prevent word, because we don't want people to be at the bottom. We want people to be stopped from getting that far. Thank you, Chair.
You're muted, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any points of clarification of Councillor Kondaka? And I thank you then, Councillor Kondaka, for your comments, and invite Councillor Golby.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not going to do anything other than speak in favour of this initiative, shall we call it. I think my views on preventing homelessness are quite well known, and I'm a big advocate for helping people before they actually become homeless. And I am aware that homelessness comes in all different forms. So we have people who are sofa surfing, who are homeless. We have young people, old people. It can happen to anyone at any time. It's just circumstances. I've met some very, like Councillor Condor, well-skilled people who can't get jobs because they live on the streets. I've spoken about this before at council. So anything that we can do to help people like that who are in need has mine and my group's full support. So I would just like to encourage more cross county working on things like this, because homelessness is not just something that sticks to one area. People do cross borough boundaries. Homeless people don't stay in one place all the time, and they can fall through the gaps because they aren't necessarily in the same place all the time. I know that I've sent P3 messages for people who I've spoken to that need help, and they've gone out and they haven't been there, but they've popped up somewhere else. So again, the cross-county aspect is a key thing, and I would encourage more and more of that going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Golby. Any points of clarification? In that case, can I thank Councillor Kondarka and Councillor Golby for their comments? Councillor Watkins, do you want to come back on this?
Just to say, Chair, really that well, both speakers are actually correct. I think the biggest learning curve I had was when I was mayor, and the stories that I heard because I was collecting for Doorway was some of them, heart-wrenching. It can be an illness. It can be like we said, you could be kicked out. It could be step parents. It can be any reason. And with what's going on and the global pandemic, never think you're safe, because you never know what's around the corner. It's a good strategy, and it's something that we need to get in, and it's been recognised by top government. So this is a good thing, and it can only be good for all of us, and it's something we need to shout about. So let's get it done.
Absolutely support that. One of the first things you need is a roof over your head, and that is so essential so that you can have a high quality of life. So I'm very happy to support this. I believe, Councillor Watkins, you've moved the recommendations. I'm happy to second them. Are there any further comments? In that case, then, can I take it that the recommendations are approved? Unless I see any hands going up. In that case, then, that is approved. Thank you very much, Councillor Watkins. We then move on to item 7. Item 7 is recommendations from overview and scrutiny panels. There is the one recommendation today relating to PSPO alcohol. We don't have the chair of the scrutiny here. Councillor Watkins, can I invite you to introduce the item, please?
Yeah, thank you again, Chair. Yeah, I'd like to move this recommendation. It's a statutory public consultation to be undertaken in accordance with an Antisocial Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act 2014 for an alcohol public spaces protection order. It's similar in the terms of the previous order we had back in 2017 to cover the same areas designated as the exclusion zone. So I'd like to put this forward and let's get this back on track. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Watkins. Councillor Kondarka, can I invite you to address Cabinet?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. I was on the working party, so I know that everyone really supported this and we wanted it to go forward as quickly as possible. And one of the options we had was to do a lot of stuff in one order, but that was felt was going to delay things because we've got all the psychoactive substances are now appearing, all the nitrous oxides, etc. But we really rushed this through, and actually it was really sad. The biggest hold up was the discussions on which committee goes to where, and does the working party send it to all that stuff seemed to get in the way. But it's really good that it's now at the Cabinet, and we really need this quite quickly, because I really feel when we do get out of lockdown and get some nice weather, there could be a lot of antisocial behaviour. So anything we can do to shorten this process of actually getting the order in place is really important. I know my residents like at Cleaver Gardens have a lot of trouble with alcohol out on Sandon Park, and I'm sure every council has their area where people will gather if it is a nice spring and they're let free for the first time in a year. So the only thing I'd say is hurry it up. It's really welcome.
Thank you. Are there any points of clarification of Councillor Kondarka? I'm not seeing any. In that case, can I thank you for your comments, Councillor Kondaka? I'm sure you would agree with me that the vast majority of residents are actually very social rather than antisocial, and I believe this order is just aimed really at making sure that we do everything we can to encourage that sort of behaviour. Councillor Watkins, anything you want to come back on?
No, thank you, Chair. I just want to move this and recommend it go forward as soon as possible, please.
I'm delighted to second that. Are there any other comments? Is everyone happy to accept this recommendation? If there's any dissent, please raise your hand. In that case, then that is approved. Thank you very much, Councillor Watkins. Look forward to that consultation going ahead as soon as it can. Item 8, any other items? I can advise that there are no other items unless Brent or Simone are going to advise me differently.
No, Chair.
No, Chair.
Thank you. We then move on to item 9, and this is to move the exclusion of the public and press, because there are under section 100A bracket 4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the public and press be excluded from the meeting during consideration of the item, it being likely that there would be disclosure of exempt information of the description specified in paragraph 12 of part 1 of the Schedule 12A to the Act. I would like to move that. Is that seconded?
Seconded, Chair.
And is that agreed? Not seeing any dissent. In that case, then we will move into private session. Can I ask Victoria to alert IT to the fact we need to cease the recording at this point?
I'm just asking for that, Chair.